Another winner, again, I keep saying maybe the biggest winner, but Zack Moss might be the biggest winner, or Chase Brown. Who knows how this will exactly play out, but a humongous opportunity for these Bengals backs, given what Mixon vacated. 320 plus touches, 66 targets, and especially in the red zone, 38 carries inside the 10, number one among backs, 56 carries inside the 20. That was third, and 18 inside the 5. Also third. Mixon running back 9, 19, 11, 4, 8, and 13 across his last 6 seasons when he's played 14 plus games. Really, really solid numbers there. And then you look at Zack Moss. I think he's the more valuable guy, only going around pick 100 or so right now. He's one of my highest exposed players and will continue to be so. Even if he rises another 15 to 20 picks, I'd still love him because I think he'll definitely get that goal line early down work role. And we saw him absolutely thrive when JT was out last week in weeks 2 to 5. He had 89 carries, 517 yards from scrimmage, and 4 touchdowns. The half PPR running back for 20.4 points per game. He had 80% of snaps and 20 points in 3 of those 4 games, capped it off with a 33.5 outburst. So it's not like there's no ceiling. I was never a Zack Moss truther. I was not in this hive, but he showed a gear I didn't expect he had last year, and I can get back in there this year. But that's not to discount Chase Brown. In fact, that's the only reason I don't love drafting Zack Moss is because a round or two later, Chase Brown is trickling down to you. I have had a couple drafts where I take them both, honestly, just because of a unique build type of perspective. But going right now at pick 122 and running back 37, 96 percentile, 4.43, 40. You saw it on that 54-yard touchdown he ripped as a screen. Just kind of brought this second gear, this new juice to the backfield last year. 12th in yards per contact per attempt, 16th in missed tackles forced. When you limit that to just 40 attempts, it has to be a pretty small sample size. Too bad, I know, but the efficiency, 11.2 yards per catch as well. There were some impressive metrics here that suggested should Chase Brown get a bigger role, he's going to thrive. All the offseason talk has been he will get one. All the draft actions suggest, yeah, there's going to be some volume up for grabs. And I think those, again, 66 vacated targets. Yeah, Moss can catch, but Chase Brown could do a whole lot more with it. So in this top 7 offense with Joe Burrow healthy, I think there's a great opportunity for both of these guys to outperform their current ADPs. Huge winners, in my opinion. Love this Bengals backfield. You're a Bengals fan. How do you see this thing playing out?
Yeah, it was one of those backfields where there was definitely potential for someone to be added in the draft or even in free agency. Well, Moss was added in free agency, but no one else has been added other than Moss and Chase Brown here. The only thing I'm worried about with when it comes to Chase Brown is his pass protection, whether or not it's improved from his rookie season. That was what really kept him off the field last year. He was only able to get on the field last year for 49 snaps. And he did a lot with it. I mean, he did enough that everyone kind of remembers that massive screen that he broke, and he was the second fastest ball carrier in the NFL last year on that play. So he was notable enough in just 49 snaps to be fantasy relevant this year. And obviously he's got the athletic profile that gets people excited. But it's a boring take, but I'm leaning more towards Zack Moss in this backfield, even at the more expensive price. Sure. Even last year with a hobbled Joe Burrow for the majority of the games that he did play, and then he went down midway through the season and didn't even play, Joe Mixon was still provided with ample opportunity to rack up fantasy points. We talked about it a little bit. 18 carries inside the 5, third amongst running backs, 38 carries from inside the 10, first amongst running backs, and he had over 320 touches last year. And obviously this was a completely, he concentrated all the touches in Cincinnati. There wasn't really anyone competing with him. As I mentioned, Chase Brown only got on the field for 49 snaps last year. So it won't be a complete concentration of the touches from Zack Moss, but he projects to take on more of the high value role inside the goal line. And I think he'll take a lot of the early down work. But if Chase Brown can improve his pass blocking ability, I think he can siphon off a reasonable amount of those touches. But that's something I'm going to be really paying attention. Just the rhetoric from the Bengals coaching staff, especially the running backs coach and offensive coordinator over the summer and during training camp, just about the progress that Brown has been making as a pass protector, because that seems to be the only thing that was keeping him off the field last year. I mean, when he got onto the field, they were looking to get the ball into his hands to get him in space and make plays. So if he can get on the field, I'm excited, but running backs just simply can't get on the field if you can't pass protect, especially with a guy like Joe Burrow, who's an established veteran in the league, values his pass protection, and obviously as a younger player got absolutely brutalized by poor pass protection. So I think that's something that's going to be on the top of the Bengals priority list. I mean, you can see from the draft picks and the other free agency moves that they've made. So Chase Brown can't pass protect. He won't get on the field. So that's something I'm definitely be paying attention to this offseason.
Yeah, and just reminded me too, they did draft a first-round tackle as well. So we're going to talk about some guys strictly improving because of line. They definitely improved because no one else was added to compete with them, but also the line should be growing with Mims there, a beastly run blocker added as well. What is up, you fantasy wolf? Thanks so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, share your thoughts in the comments, check out some more videos, and join the newest Wolfpack by subscribing below.